So I'm delighted this morning to be with Rob Wilkinson. I promised it would be a nice short video as long as I can be on a paddle board for. I wish I could be on a paddle board for actually 7 minutes, but maybe by the end of this year I can be. But the story is not about paddleboarding. The story is about crowdfunding. Rob Wilkinson, who's a co-partner with Tor Portes, and Rob Pasternik as well. Hope I got Rob's surname right, or as close as possible, because it's a Polish surname. Um, Rob, let my listeners know a little bit about yourself and how you came across to meet Tor and uh, this crowdfunding company which you created.
Yeah, so good morning, Brendan. As I was just saying to you offline, apologies if I come across a bit slow this morning. I was driving all day yesterday over in Europe and I didn't get back until early hours of this morning. So co-founder of Crowd With Us, property crowdfunding platform, enabling anyone to invest in London-based property. I'm a master mariner by trade, so I spent nearly the last 20 years at sea, working on several of the world's largest privately owned yachts for some pretty impressive, wealthy billionaires. So I only ever worked 6 months of the year. It's quite fortunate and very good money. And the times that I spent off the boat, I get bored very easily. And as such, I started investing in property very young. I bought my first property in London in 2002, I believe, and then continued to develop and build a portfolio. Built my own house, which I'm sitting in right now. And then got into developments, so raising finance for development. And during the last recession, we found a bit of a niche, which was in distressed properties, bankruptcies, repossessions, that type of thing. And we were working with private investors, so we'd find the deals, we'd borrow the money. And when everyone else was struggling, we did pretty well, and to such an extent that we actually were in the unique, well, not so unique position of having access to lots of deals, but less and less private investor cash. So we came up with the idea to start this property crowdfunding platform. But to go back a little bit, I met Tor on an NLP course with another friend, I believe you know, Thomas Nust.
Sure.
Yeah. That was in the early days of Progressive Property. They run an NLP course, so I met them on that. And through my wife, who's Polish, I met Robert Pasternak and actually introduced the two of them. Tor obviously has a background in property, and Rob in programming and internet marketing. And so we decided to come together and build this crowdfunding platform in order to raise more money for deals.
Look, Rob, just to focus on the last 3 to 6 months, because it's been quite an active time for yourselves, and just to summarize in a couple of minutes what the last 3 to 6 months has been for Crowd With Us.
The last 3 to 6 months, lots of long hours and hard work. We've been onboarding with an equity investor. So we've just had an equity investor buy a portion of our company, which was very exciting, and doing some redesigning of the platform. We're now focusing a lot more on onboarding developers as well as our own deals. So it's been all hands to the pumps.
So, Rob, just to go forward into the next 6 months, what does the next 6 months mean for you and Crowd With Us?
More of the same, really. Lots of long days and lots of hard work. But yeah, we hope to become more of a presence in the crowdfunding space.
We were discussing before going on air about some of the books, and to be fair, I haven't seen any of those 3 books before. So can you just share what books you've been reading over the last whatever period of time?
Yes, I saw your interview with Ryan yesterday, so I did have some kind of idea this was coming. Very good book, Selling to Win. I'm actually only about halfway through it, but but it's exceptionally good. And I think we're all in the if you want to make money, we need to sell. So selling space. So this is an exceptionally good book, Richard Denny. I tend to read a lot of biographies, autobiographies. So the billionaire and the mechanic. Obviously, I have a background.
Can I just, Rob? Is it possible just to see the author's name? Because brilliant, Julian Guthrie. What do you like about that particular book?
What do I like about that particular book? I was there for a lot of it, so yeah, it's rather interesting to see the other side.
And we mentioned a third book, and you said it's nothing to do with property offline, but in a way, it's got everything to do with property or health. Because if you haven't got health, you haven't got a business as such.
Yep, health and wealth are very important. So yeah, very, very. My two passions are property and health and fitness. So this is the Alkaline Cure, Dr. Stephen Goming. I actually went on holiday to Spain in the summer, stayed on a ranch in the middle of nowhere. It was absolutely amazing, and it turned out the ranch was owned by one of the world's leading oncologists for cancer. And he had his own private hospital. I spent many an evening talking to him, and he explained to me about the pH, which is all new to me, and the fact that he was adamant that if your pH was I think it's above 7.34, that it's practically impossible to get cancer. And so I just started to read into it a lot more. And yeah, I think especially when we work hard, long hours, although we can do more to try and live a healthier lifestyle.
Well, Rob, what would be really useful to me is if you can take a snapshot of those 3 books which you recommended and just drop them over, because it'd just be easy for people to remember as well. Look, I know you're on my upcoming panel at Wandsworth on the 10th of January. I can't believe it's not that far away, because Christmas has gone so quick. So you're going to be on the panel with the likes of Thierry Lemaire from Vincent Group, Ronald Fletcher Baker Solicitors. You're on the panel also with Foster Nova, Augusta Oinke Lumia, who's a partner, and there's 1 or 2 other people as well. So in terms of what's your exit strategy, and people need to come to the event to get the full download, but in just 30 seconds or less, what would you answer to that?
Always ensure you have a plan B, and I guess ensure that for us it's long-term buy and hold. So even if we get short-term money in to get the deal over the line, we'll refinance or crowdfund, use JV finance to keep the deal in live for 5 to 7 years. Okay,
brilliant. Look, Robert, how can people find out more about you? Of course, coming to my events is one of the best ways, because Crowd With Us are sponsors, along with Ronald Fletcher Baker LLP. How can people find out more about Crowd With Us? What's the website?
Yeah, it's crowdwithus.london. My email, if anyone's got any questions, rob.wilkinson@crowdwithus.london. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, and everything else.
Rob, I just want to say huge thanks for taking time out this morning. I know you're going to be presenting at Wandsworth, or on the panel at Wandsworth on the 10th. And I'd be really appreciative if you can just send me a snapshot of that video. Hopefully at some point we can get a much more detailed interview, whether here online or whether at one of my upcoming meets as well.
Yeah, and hopefully, I do apologise if I sound a bit bunged up. I've woke up with a terrible case of the man flu this morning. Okay. So